Apple is working on another event for October, and so here's everything that we're expecting to see announced or released later this coming month. Now, there hasn't been an official announcement yet, but according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, Apple is apparently going to be holding an October event this year to announce new iPads, including an updated iPad mini, along with first Macs to have the M4 series of chips. Let's start with the MacBook Pro. We aren't expecting any major changes here except for the inclusion of that M4 chip. We just had a redesign back in 2021, so we really shouldn't be expecting anything huge there. I know we're expecting some OLED displays and a thinner design for these new MacBooks, but it looks like we're looking at 2026 for those major changes. Now, the M4 chip will be the main attraction for most of these Macs that I'm going to talk about here, but the good news is it should continue to help power the slate of Apple Intelligence features that should be finally making its way to the general public later in October. You can pretty much throw the iMac into this equation. We are expecting a new one, but it's most likely just going to be an M4 chip update, and no other major changes are expected. I will say that hopefully this is the year we finally get a switch from Lightning to USB-C on the Magic Keyboard, mouse, and trackpad this year. So if you already have an iMac or any kind of Mac where you're using these Magic accessories and you want to finally get everything in line with USB-C, hopefully that's available. I'm still shocked that they didn't do this last year with the M3 iMac announcement. Now, the Mac Mini is actually expected to get a pretty big redesign here, and the first one for the Mac Mini since 2010. The new Mac Mini will apparently approach the size of an Apple TV, but it may be slightly taller than the current model, which is 1.4 inches high. It will continue to feature an aluminum shell, and individuals working on this new device apparently say that it's essentially an iPad Pro in a small box. Now, before we get into more details on this new Mac Mini, here's me wearing a completely different shirt telling you more about today's sponsor, Keeper. Imagine having your accounts hacked and your data stolen. I think that happens quite a bit to people out there, and I feel like a lot of people just don't use a password manager. Keeper ensures that all of my passwords are secure and easy to manage. Keeper makes it simple to create and store your passwords securely in a personal password manager that you can access anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether it's you or your family members, Keeper ensures that your passwords and accounts stay safe around the clock. And if you need to share anything within your vault, you can do that securely and with peace of mind that everything is going to remain secure with military-grade encryption. Keeper keeps your data protected and accessible from your phone, your tablet, or your desktop. And also just being able to use it on other devices. I have an Android tablet. Maybe you have one for your kids and you want to have a password manager for them on that device. You can use Keeper again on any device. And there are just other health monitoring features for your passwords that you don't get with Apple's Passwords app. So if you want to make your life easier with Keeper, get it half off today if you use code MacRumors50 at checkout. So click the link in the description down below to learn more. And thanks Keeper for sponsoring this video. Okay, so back to the new Mac Mini. Apple is said to have been testing these Mac Mini models with at least 3 USB-C ports on the back, potentially 2 on the front, as well as an area for the power cable and an HDMI port. There will continue to be 2 versions of the Mac Mini, so you'll get one with the standard M4 chip, similar to the iPad Pro, and then you'll have one with an M4 Pro chip. Unfortunately, I think this means that there's going to be no more USB-A ports on the back, and honestly, for a desktop, I still think these are kind of important. I love USB-C, but I still come across a ton of random accessories and products that would connect to your Mac that use this type of port and cable, but I suppose adapters do exist for this reason. It can be used fairly easily, but it's nice to have that level of flexibility on a desktop machine. So that about does it for the new Macs, but Mark Gurman is also saying that he expects Apple to finally update the iPad mini to the new 7th generation at this event. Rumored features for this new iPad mini over the previous model include a faster chip, upgrading the front and rear cameras, a fix for the whole jelly scrolling screen and portrait orientation, Wi-Fi 6E, a Bluetooth 5.3 support, and new color options. Apple supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo previously said that the next iPad mini would be entering mass production in the second half of 2024. So there is agreement from multiple credible sources about the device being updated later this year, which is good. Apple released the current iPad mini way back in September of 2021, with new features at the time including a larger 8.3-inch display, a USB-C port, a Touch ID power button, the A15 Bionic, 5G support on cellular models, a 12-megapixel rear camera with center stage support, compatibility with the second generation Apple Pencil, and more. So hopefully we get a bunch of new updates for this new iPad mini. Now, when Gurman was talking about the iPad mini, he did mention iPads, plural, and so it could mean that the iPad 11 could also be introduced here at this event, which would be nice. But, would love to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you want to see from the new lineup of M4 Macs? What do you want to see with some of these new iPads that could be coming this month? Let me know in the comments down below. This is Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.